Growing violence in Egypt is U.S.-funded democracy. I'm Christopher Green, and you're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. A violent crackdown on Islamists and the former democratically elected government of Mohamed Morsi has led to the deaths of almost 1,000 people and growing in Egypt, according to officials. Bloodshed is nothing new to re-revolution Egypt, which has seen the rise and fall of governments more times than Hollywood starlet Lindsay Lohan has a drug overdose. We've had the former regime of Hosni Mubarak. It was replaced by Mohamed Morsi, titular head of the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, the latest coup on July 3rd has replaced Morsi once again by former remnants of Mubarak's military-backed regime. Suspected Morsi supporters on Monday ambushed two minibuses carrying off-duty police officers in Egypt's northern Sinai, killing 25 of them execution-style and wounding two others, while dozens of churches, homes, and businesses owned by Coptic Christians have been under attack. So what's the problem? Isn't this U.S.-manufactured democracy at work? In a true democracy, the people decide the fate of their governments and pick their leaders. Is this not what's happening in Egypt? I say, let the democracy games begin, and make sure Egypt thanks the U.S. for its undying support. The past few years have brought increasing violence to the region and has helped to propel a growing destabilization effort in the Middle East. But why? Who has the most to gain from a violent and oppressive re-revolution Egypt? Israel and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are actively boosting ties with the Egyptian army, while the U.S. is mulling cuts to its military aid. Many of you are aware that the United States provides Egypt with about $1.5 billion in aid annually, second only to the roughly $3 billion given each year to Israel. The exact amount varies from year to year, and there are many different funding streams, but U.S. foreign assistance to Egypt has averaged about $2 billion a year since 1979, when Egypt last struck a peace treaty with Israel. So is the United States getting what it pays for in Egypt? War, violence, death, and democracy? One of the biggest debates in Washington is whether Mohamed Morsi was removed in a military coup, which would mean U.S. aid to Egypt would be suspended and trigger an automatic congressional ban on foreign investment. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat of Connecticut, says the U.S. should continue to supply aid, but only on a conditional basis, which should include the military's release of political prisoners and restoring the rule of law in Egypt. President Obama on Thursday condemned the violence in Egypt and said that the country is on a more dangerous path. He doesn't necessarily intend to suspend military aid in Egypt anytime soon, but he certainly plays teleprompter semantics. So why is the United States providing foreign military aid to Egypt in the first place? Egypt, although not a large oil producer itself, is a key bottleneck in the global oil industry, and also a strategic military checkpoint for the United States. Should the current turmoil in Egypt get any worse, a potential oil spike could crush any nascent economic recovery, threaten peace with Israel, and prevent U.S. Navy warships from getting expedited processing when they pass through the Suez Canal. How convenient. Brent crude oil prices were propelled to a 4-month high of $111 on Thursday, and if the violence in Egypt gets any worse, could go much higher. Although not a large oil producer, Egypt produces about 9% of the world's oil supply and about 1.8% of global natural gas supply. It plays a key role in global energy markets with the operation of the Suez Canal and the Suez-Mediterranean pipeline. These are vital pieces of infrastructure in the global energy market, providing about 7% of all seaborne traded oil and 13% of liquefied natural gas, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or EIA. So what happens if these vital pipelines close? With the U.S. providing over $1.5 billion annually in direct foreign investment to Egypt, along with direct military aid and democracy-peddling NGOs, you can bet your ass that it's a top priority the U.S., along with its Israeli counterparts, get a sizable return on their investment. The question is, at what cost to Egypt, its people, and democracy? I'm Christopher Green, and you're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Hard-hitting and in your face. Please share this video everywhere across your social media networks. Visit our website for source material at amtvmedia.com and greenwave.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at cgreen34, Facebook at Greenwave TV, Twitter at Greenwave, and get it out to the viewing public. Please donate $5 or more a month to the Alternative Media, and click the link below to support our sponsor.